Good evening, future Meadowbrook families. I am so excited to be here with all of you to celebrate your children coming to us next year. Meadowbrook Middle School has so many great programs and things going on. Some of what will be featured tonight are Community of Kindness, our anti-bullying. We are no place for hate school. And we have school-wide presentations on a regular basis, monthly basis, where we celebrate things such as empathy and looking out for each other. I have in the room with us tonight our spectacular administration and counseling team. I have Alicia Pence Lopez. I have Mary Kay Knock, one of our spectacular counselors, Mr. Daniel, and Matt Hunt. We are so and Miss Garza, who has put this whole presentation together, one of our spectacular counselors. We are so excited to be with all of you tonight, and we can't wait to bring to you Meadowbrook Middle School. Some of our things that we will see tonight will include our spectacular, our electives program. We have everything from dual language to Spanish to our CTE electives and music and much, much more. Here we go. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And that was our principal, Crystal Brownlee. We're going to move on with our presentation here, and I'm going to let our two assistant principals take over this slide.
Good evening, families, and hopefully some of our future students, our future Mustangs. I'm Alicia Pence Lopez, one of your assistant principals.
Hi, Mustangs. Great to be here tonight, and I'm so excited to see all of you. I'm Matt Hunt, and I'm the other assistant principal here at Meadowbrook. Thanks for coming.
So once you're actually with us next year, we're going to have a lot more information with you. But tonight, we just wanted to share with all of our families a few items related to our school community. And one of them is we want to make sure that all of our families know that student safety is our #1 priority. I'm not going to lie, of course, education is important, but that can't happen if our students don't feel safe and confident walking through our doors. So student safety is definitely something we take seriously, and we do that every day in every way. And so some of the things we do is we make sure that we practice our safety drills throughout the year, but more importantly, we also make sure that we're affirming our positive core values every single day. And that happens through the way we handle ourselves in the classroom as well as outside of the classroom. So as you join our community, one of the things we're going to recommend is that before you step foot on our campus, you take some time to review the student handbook and make sure you know exactly what is expected of you, and make sure that you're familiar with the guidelines and the school rules. And most importantly, make sure that you are ready to have an awesome, positive school year.
Alrighty, thanks, Ms. Pence Lopez. Principal Brownlee touched on this in her opening, and something that's unique to our campus and is very exciting, and I think your kids will quickly gather or gravitate towards, is our community of kindness. So our counseling department does an excellent job creating lessons that are done school-wide every month through the community of kindness. We change our bell schedule, so we have an extended period where we focus on things such as anti-bullying, kindness, communication skills, mediation, and how to be, a good citizen here on campus and in our community. So community kindness, you'll find out more about as we get closer to the school year, and look for that throughout the actual year once we begin. Next is what we call No Place for Hate. No Place for Hate School is Poway Unified's main initiative, and many of our schools, Meadowbrook Middle School being one of them, is designated as No Place for Hate School. And what that means is we respect each other with our words and our actions. And if someone were to not follow that direction, that is something that is taken very seriously. So as Ms. Pence-Lopez said, when we come back in the fall, we'll dive in more about rules and expectations. But for now, we've touched on enough, and let's get to more on the electives and course selection process and all the fun and exciting things that many of you are here to talk about tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Pence-Lopez and Mr. Hunt. Really appreciate that breakdown. For those of you watching and joining us, please just make a mental note of any questions that you might have, as we will have an opportunity for those to be submitted towards the end. We'll post the link for you to be able to see it, but you also have access on the flyer that was sent out that you guys can put your questions through there. So moving forward, we're going to take a look at social studies, and we're going to learn a little bit about what our social studies program looks like. Oh, I'm sorry, language arts. It's the social studies here on my side. But we're going to listen to Miss Plato, one of our amazing language arts teachers, and kind of get a feel of the program and what your students would be experiencing when they're on campus.
Hello and welcome to 5th grade parent night. My name is Mrs. Plato. I am a teacher here at Meadowbrook Middle School. I teach 6th grade, both language arts and social studies. First, I'm going to talk a little bit about what 6th graders are expected to do in language arts. Obviously, from the slide behind me, lots and lots of reading. We encourage at least 30 minutes of outside reading a day. They will obviously be participating in lots of different writing activities: creative writing, narrative writing, argumentative, like the persuasive argumentative writing, informational writing, which is like a research report. We also have a lot of different nonfiction elements that we will be including in the criteria: author's purpose, point of view, main ideas with details, and text structures. We will also be covering a lot of fiction elements like plot, figurative language, characterization, and theme. We will also do some lessons on language, which include Greek and Latin roots, grammar skills, and vocabulary.
The troubles of doing this through technology. Gotta unmute myself. This is the point where I would probably thank Ms. Plato if we were in person, and say thanks for sharing that with us. And we're going to move forward here with social studies. And once again, we'll have Ms. Plato for this part as well.
So what does a 6th grader cover in social studies? They are enrolled in a course called Ancient Civilizations. It is a review of pretty much all the cultures around the world, starting back and dating back to the civilization of Mesopotamia. We then go to Egypt, China, India, and end with the history of Greece. The course is designed to prepare them for the medieval history that they will receive in 7th grade. They all seem to really enjoy it and love all the different civilizations that we cover.
So that's a brief overview of both our language arts program and our social studies program that your 6th graders are going to get to experience. I've had the pleasure of being in both of those courses and kind of stopping in and checking in on students. And some of the work that they do is really incredible. The learning that's happening in those classrooms is like no other.
Next, we've got our dual language program, which is a special program where we have students from Valley Elementary School that feed in to our school to take advantage of it. We're looking at expanding the program next year for schools that have students that can come into our program who might be Spanish speakers. Next up to talk to us is Miss Pence-Lopez.
Good evening again, y buenas noches a todas nuestras familias que hablan español. Unfortunately, no estoy bilingüe. I would have benefited from a dual language program. And so for so many of our students who are fortunate enough to have learned or have starting to learn Spanish, this is exactly the kind of program that helps them learn the Spanish they will need to be bilingual in the future. So for those students who have already started a dual immersion or dual language program in elementary school, they are able to continue their Spanish speaking studies here at Meadowbrook, which is a really unique opportunity. And the way they're able to do that is by taking social studies in Spanish. They also have the unique opportunity to take intensive Spanish as their elective. And what that means is that if they complete the 3-year intensive Spanish elective here at Meadowbrook, they will have the opportunity in high school to be advanced and placed into Spanish 5-6. So it's almost like a Spanish acceleration program for them. Super exciting if they're able to place into that in high school. But it's not just for students who have already been in a dual language program. If you are just fortunate enough to have some Spanish knowledge and you'd like to start learning in Spanish, you can also let us know, and you can take the assessment to start a dual language program here at Meadowbrook Middle. And the way you do that is by emailing me directly, and we can set you up for a very short assessment to see if you would be eligible for the program. We hope you consider taking advantage of it. It's a very unique program that most middle schools don't have, and it really sets Meadowbrook apart as a way to study another language and be a multilingual student in the world.
Muchísimas gracias, Señora Pence Lopez. I have to say, I like to share this with the students, but I myself went to Meadowbrook as well for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And I can just imagine how awesome it would have been to have had this program when I was there. So the students are super lucky to have this and have that experience. Thank you so much. Let's move on to our science, and let's hear what our science department is doing with 6th grade.
Hi, my name is Catherine Mellis, and I'm here to welcome your students to the 6th grade science department here at Meadowbrook Middle School. So at Meadowbrook Middle School, our science department really focuses on hands-on learning. We look at phenomena-based learning as well as the NGSS science standards. So what this means is that we are looking at the world around us. We are looking for events and things that are happening, and then we seek to explain them using scientific principles and modeling and simulations. We do, of course, reading, we do writing in our science department classes, but we also, most importantly, we experiment, and we do a lot of hands-on learning in labs. So your students can be expected to build a building next year that can withstand a shake table earthquake. You can expect your student to come home next year talking about fossils and rocks and how that would classify, and how they can hike around in our hills, look at a rock, and tell you what was happening here in Poway maybe 1 million years ago or more. So we do a lot of explorations in that for earth science. Then we're going to get into the human body systems and living systems and cells, and we will look at through microscopes, and we will look at living things, and we will look at non-living things, and we will explore that microscopic world around us and think about what are the bigger implications to that and how do we interact with that system. So we have a lot of fun in science. We work really hard in science, and our goal is really to make sure that your student comes out believing they are a scientist, that they can do science, and that they go into high school ready and prepared to be the scientists and engineers that we need them to be. I look forward to meeting your students next year.
And thank you, Ms. Mellis, for that. I have to say, when they are saying that they are hands-on learning, it truly is hands-on learning. I've been in those classrooms before, and I've seen them do all sorts of experiments that are just amazing, and the kids are really, really engaged. So that's very, very, very important. We're going to move on to hear from our mathematics department.
Hi, my name is Melissa Yu, and I'm one of the 6th grade math teachers here at Meadowbrook Middle School. I'm excited to work with students and challenge them in ways that they might not have experienced before in math. Math is no longer just about memorizing a list of procedures, or as you and I grew up with, the drill and kill method. It's about approaching a problem, exploring different options, which often means making mistakes, trying to ask yourself, does that make sense, and why does it work? We do a lot of collaborative learning in our classrooms because that's what challenges our thinking, students being able to communicate their thoughts to another student, as well as students considering the ideas of their peers. It's all part of our goal to have students not only think math, but also talk math. And you'll see them grow in these skills over their 3 years here at Meadowbrook. The entire math department works together very closely to make sure that we're setting students up for success from 6th grade to 7th grade to 8th grade. So the foundations for algebraic thinking that you see here on the slide will be revisited, but to a greater depth in 7th grade, and then revisited again in 8th grade at a greater depth. So it's particularly important for us sixth grade teachers to emphasize those problem-solving skills now this year, as tough and uncomfortable as it may be for students, because they'll be utilizing that throughout their entire time here at Meadowbrook as they learn Common Core mathematics. It's a lot of hard work, but we have some fun along the way, and we're really excited to meet our young mathematicians in the fall.
Thank you to Miss Yu for that. Yeah, math is such an important, vital part of everyone's education. So it's amazing what our mathematics department can do and the way that they collaborate together, work together, and really push all students to understand math and to even like it. And some of them really do. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Melissa.
There you go. Now we're going to hear from our physical education department. And don't forget, if you have any questions at any point, please put them into that Google form and we'll be sure to do our best to get all of those questions answered at the end.
Good evening and welcome. My name is Dennis Scioto and I'm one of the 2 sixth grade physical education teachers here at Meadowbrook. There are a lot of great things happening here at Meadowbrook and I'm excited about having the opportunity to work with your child next year. Next year, we will be participating in a wide variety of physical activities that are in line with California state standards for physical education. And more importantly, your child will get an opportunity to participate in class every single day of the week, which is different from the elementary school years. In fact, they will also earn a physical education grade for the first time. So we're excited about being able to see them 5 days a week and get them strong and healthy and enjoying being physically active. Our goal here at Meadowbrook, especially in the sixth grade program, is to help everyone feel comfortable and safe in the environment. We know that there's students out there that are leaders and they're active and they're great on their sports teams, but we also need to focus on the student who may be shy and a little passive and not real comfortable in a physical education setting. So our job is to create that environment where your child will feel comfortable and safe to do their best every single day. So we're looking forward to that chance next school year. Also, in the beginning of every school year, we usually take about 2 weeks of time to go over things like selling PE clothes, showing your child how to open and close their locker room lock, and assigning lockers in the locker room. And we go really slow in the beginning of the year because we want everyone to feel safe and comfortable. And sometimes that locker room experience can be a little bit overwhelming for some. So we go really slow. In fact, we won't even be changing in the locker room for the first 2 weeks of the school year because there's a lot to cover. And it does take time to issue lockers and locks and all that stuff. So nonetheless, we're excited to meet your child next school year. I'm Mr. Scioto. Mr. Beam is the other sixth grade teacher, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys. Bye-bye.
Mr. Scioto and Mr. Beam are amazing PE teachers. They're just a great part to have. They do a really good job of pushing students to try things that they don't feel comfortable with. And I've gone out there and I've seen kids really having a good time, whether it's playing volleyball, running around the track, doing soccer. It's always super enjoyable. And I will say, if you want your student to try to practice anything over the summer, I would probably say opening the locks. Even myself, I struggle with those a little bit sometimes with the traditional dial lock. So definitely a skill that you might want to practice over the summer to prepare. But don't worry, we will always help students if they need it. Now we're going to move on to our electives program, and we're going to hear from Mr. Ismay.
Hi, I'm Mr. Ismay, and I'm super excited to talk to you about all your elective choices you have here at Meadowbrook Middle School as a sixth grader. We have Introduction to Art, Band, Exploring Career Pathways, the extensive Spanish program, and Orchestra. All of these classes are taught by super motivated instructors, and we're excited to get you started on your middle school experience. To find out more information about all these classes, go to our Meadowbrook website, and I'll show you how to get there right now. Once you're at the Meadowbrook Middle School website, you need to find the tab for Academics. Click on Academics, then you go down and see Academic Departments, and then you will see Electives. Click on Electives, and then you can scroll down and see all the sixth grade elective offerings and a brief description along with a video. If you click on the blue link that says video, it will open a video and you can go ahead and watch a brief video about that particular elective. So I hope that's helpful as you guys go to make your choice for next year.
Thank you to Mr. Ismay and the electives team. I can't emphasize it enough, everyone. Please, please, please watch those videos regarding the different electives. It really allows your student to get an insight into what they might be doing or what they will be doing once they're in that elective. And again, I have to say our elective programs are really top notch. The teachers go out of their way to make everything such a hands-on experience and really push the students to do their absolute best. And it's just an amazing experience. Now we're going to have the opportunity to hear from our current ASB president. So I'll let you guys hear what she has to say.
Hello, future Meadowbrook students and families. I'm Bella Shawhouse, an 8th grader serving as this year's ASB president. Meadowbrook Middle School has been such an amazing experience for me. I've met so many new people, made lifetime friends, and have learned from many great teachers that have helped me feel prepared for my next chapter, high school. The thing I love most about Meadowbrook is the friendly, fun, positive culture. My favorite memories have been music at lunch, games at lunch, and spirit days. You may be feeling a little nervous about your first day of middle school, but as soon as you walk in, you will be met by the friendly faces of our student body that will help guide you through your first week. We are excited to have you all. I know all of you will love Meadowbrook just as much as I do. Meadowbrook is a place where you can be you and never walk alone.
And she's definitely not kidding. One of the biggest shifts that your student is going to experience coming from elementary school to middle school is the fun activities that we do during lunchtime. Our lunchtimes tend to be a little bit longer. So if you think about it, we've got a lot of students and we've got to keep them entertained. And ASB does an amazing job of playing music and games every single Friday. Super engaging. The students, you should definitely, I wish you guys could see it. The students go all out, they'll dress up, they'll play games, and it's a super, super fun, engaging way for students to meet other students that they may not be friends with yet.
Hello, future Meadowbrook students and
Now we're going to hear from, I believe I skipped a slide, 1 second. Oh no, now we're going to hear from our Mustang Educational Foundation. There's no video for this, so it'll just be the sound.
Good evening. My name is Carrie Frangian, and I'm the current president of the Meadowbrook Educational Foundation. The mission of the Meadowbrook Educational Foundation is to provide funding, resources, support, and opportunities for school activities and programs that expand and enrich the educational experiences for all of our students. The foundation is comprised of parents, educators, and other members of the community who want to help ensure students have the resources they need to succeed. The foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that focuses its efforts on support in many areas, including but not limited to programs in STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, art, and math, providing technology resources for students, faculty, and administration. Participation in local, state, national competitions that includes Science Olympiad and robotics. It also supports administration of the Meadowbrook Middle School Academy. However, we do not fund the academy. Mental health seminars and training sessions throughout the year. We have career days and participation with our industry partners. College fairs and career exploration programs. Technology in the classrooms and virtually. Maintenance of PE equipment that includes our fitness lab to ensure safety. Training and supplies for our educators, and other items that arise during the school year, including programs that directly benefit our students. The foundation is grateful to our strong parent community and local companies for their generous donations and time that make the Educational Foundation possible. If you'd like to get involved with the foundation, please contact us at mbmsfoundation@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you and have a nice evening.
What I
And we
can,
sorry.
say, no, you're good. First of all, Mr. Daniel, you're amazing. Best MC ever. Thank you so much. I just wanted to add into the Mustang Educational Foundation that it has been foundational in our success here at Meadowbrook, as well as our PTSA, which is coming up next. We've been able to go ahead and transform our campus. We've had cutting edge technology available for our students before we even went to one-to-one devices. And I am just so grateful to our foundation as well as our PTSA. And if you are willing to participate with our foundation or our PTSA, and it doesn't have to be a commitment that's an everyday commitment, but anything that you're willing to give and be a part of, we can't thank you enough. I know coming from the elementary school to the middle school, it might feel a little different, but you should still be involved. We still need you, and we still thank you. Thank you so much. Back to you, Daniel.
Thank you, Principal Brownlee. I couldn't have said it better myself. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Okay. We did not lose a slide. We are all back on track. So now we're going to hear from our PTSA.
Hello, new Meadowbrook parents and families. My name is Bruce Bergman. I'm this year's Meadowbrook PTSA president. On behalf of our board of directors, I'd like to welcome you. Meadowbrook has a very active and engaged parent and family community, as you probably have heard. Our PTSA helps support our school programs and needs primarily through fundraising and volunteer efforts. This would include such programs as our book fair, cross-country, PSAT practice runs, student recognition like honor roll and promotion, arts and reflections, gifts to the school, and more. Your PTSA also fights for the programs and policies that support all children at all levels of education. We have a strong PTA leadership in the Palomar Council and also at the 9th District PTA level, and we have a history of being leaders in our state. All these programs depend on your membership in our organization and your volunteer help at our events. I would ask and encourage you to join our PTSA now and help make our 2021 through 2022 school year the best one we've had yet at Meadowbrook. Joining is super easy this year as our membership signup is completely online. No need to worry about checks or cash, just visit us online. Our website is located at ronr.pro/mbms, and you can join us there. We meet 4 times a year and share news about our programs and fundraising efforts, and we would love to have your input and participation next year. Thank you, and again, our website address is ronr.pro/mbms. I hope you have a great 6th grade experience as a proud Mustang. Thank you.
I have to say, middle school can be a very challenging transition. So if you're looking for a way to connect with your student and stay involved in their education and what they're doing on campus, PTSA is a great opportunity for that. You'll be able to volunteer and join us in different activities. Now, this next part, I'm super excited about, and I'm a little biased because it's not only the realm and the work that I do, but I have an amazing, amazing team that I couldn't have wished for a better group of counselors to be with me.
Hello, new.
So this is our counseling program.
Good evening, parents and families. Maybe there's a few students out there watching there with you too. We hope so. I'm Mrs. Knock. I'm one of 3 counselors. We are so excited this year and grateful to have 3 full-time counselors here. I work with students whose last names begin with A through GN. And I just want to highlight for you, just to give you an idea of the overarching umbrella that school counselors work under. We have 3 domains. One is academic, one is social emotional, and the other is college and career. As you can imagine, we do a lot of social emotional counseling in middle school. It's a huge transitional time, but we are super excited. We love these years. There's a lot going on. There's tons of changes happening, and that's what I love, especially about being a middle school counselor, is that I get to help with that development and that transition. Of course, academic always. We want to get your student academically strong for high school. We've got 3 years to get it done. So, sometimes it takes a little more time. College and career, we're not starting to plant those seeds. Those seeds may have already been planted, but we want to have them thinking about exploring, kind of have an explorer's attitude about my future. It's a ways off for them, and they're not really there yet, but we like to do a little bit of work in those arenas as well.
Thank you, Ms. Knock. And as you all know, I am Mr. Daniel. I go by my first name with the students, just Mr. Daniel. I don't feel like a Mr. Vehar, don't relate to that very much. So I go by Mr. Daniel. And I've got the alpha GO to NI. So you're probably asking yourself, okay, they mentioned academic, social, emotional, college, and career. That's awesome. But how? How are they doing all of this? We do that through classroom lessons. Particularly, and you guys might be familiar with this, we use second step lessons that is research-based curriculum that's provided by the district, and it's used across all of the middle schools. We've identified lessons based on the needs that students have across the board, and we're able to go into the classrooms, whether it's through social studies, language arts, even PE sometimes, and we dedicate one period for a section of a week towards learning a different lesson, whether it's empathy, time management skills, how to handle anxiety, a bunch of different topics. Another way in which we provide support to our students is through small groups. So maybe your student's struggling a little bit academically, they'll get identified by either the teacher, the student themselves, or by the counselors, and we'll recommend them to join us for an academic support group. And those tend to look a little bit different, and they're based on the needs of the student. And we also provide social emotional support groups as well. Again, we aren't therapists, so we don't provide therapy, but we do listen to students and help them process anything that they're experiencing to the best of our ability so that they can be successful on campus. And the last thing that we do are one-on-one check-ins. We are constantly checking in with students, making sure that they're staying on track, making sure that they're not feeling overwhelmed or having any issues or troubles that might be impeding their ability to succeed.
Hi, incoming families. I'm Miss Garza, and I will be working with students I am this year working with students NO to Z. And I'm going to touch base a little bit on our counseling website. So hopefully most of you have already visited our Meadowbrook website. When you go to the top, there's activities and there's a counselor link. So if you go there, you will get all this information. There we go. Thank you. If you go under academics, there's counseling. Wonderful, Mr. Daniel. And so you will see all these links to all this information that you are welcome to go through. There's our contact information. Here's some cool information. If you want to get to know a little bit more background on your counselor, we have some information there. This is all this good stuff. You can also contact us for any of this information if you don't want to scroll through or look through all of that stuff. So if you can see on the left, we have all this information that you can touch on. Again, you can always still as well reach out to us. And what we're going to show you next, we're really excited. We have our Mustang leaders, and we wanted you all to get a feel from our students. If we were live, they would be here. We would all be together and they'd be speaking to you live. But we have two of our girls talking about the first day feels.
Thank you very much, Ms. Garza. Let's go ahead and hear from our Mustang leaders.
Hey Meadowbrook, this is Channing and Maddie, and today we're going to be talking about the first day of school. So my first day of school was actually very enjoyable and helpful considering that I was pretty nervous coming to middle school. What about you, Maddie?
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't as stressful as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, the first thing that I thought about was where my classes were, so when I got my schedule and everything, I was a little confused of where all my classes were. So I went to a Mustang leader and an ASB leader to help me, and I got to my classes faster because of that.
Me too, and we only have 4 minutes to go to each class, but it actually didn't take a long time considering that I was nervous about being tardy to my next class.
Yeah, in elementary school, we only sit in one class the whole day, so that 4 minutes is actually a pretty decent time to go to your next class. Also, I recommend eating a snack in between classes if you have time to.
The first day is mainly getting your syllabuses and meeting your teachers. I made sure to ask as many questions as I needed. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, for the first day, you should take the opportunity to get to know people in your classes. I am a total social bug, so I said hi to many people in my class.
So if you are nervous about your first day of school, know that there are many people on campus here to help.
This is Channing
and Maddie,
and have a good year.
Bye, Mustangs!
Awesome. Our Mustang leaders are awesome. And just so that everyone is aware, our Mustang leaders are a group of 8th grade and 7th grade students that are selected to kind of be role models and help us facilitate different activities that we do on campus. And they partner up with our ASB leaders as well sometimes. They're really awesome, particularly on the first day. I have to say, being there this first year, it being my first year at middle school counseling, it kind of reminded me a little bit about kindergarten. You know, the parents are a little bit nervous. What do I expect? Dropping my kid off. The only difference is you now have a middle schooler and they're ready to go on their own and they're not going to be waiting by the door to go home with mom and dad right away.
Hey Meadowbrook,
Now, let's talk about grades. Probably going to be a lot of questions about this, so let's get into it. We work on a trimester. meaning that we're cut into 3 trimesters. We have trimester 1, trimester 2, and trimester 3, and they're 12 weeks long. Your student is going to receive a progress report every 6 weeks, with the exception of the end of the trimester, where they'll receive their official report card for that trimester. We do, the basic letter grades, A, B, C, D, or F. I always tell students to look at your percentage as well. Don't just look at your letter grade. When you look at your percentages, you're able to identify whether you're moving in an upwards trend or a downwards trend when it comes to your work. If you're just looking at the letter grade, you're not really going to have a good idea of where you are. We also, your student will continue to get conduct and work habits, and we have the, whoops, there we go. We have outstanding, good, satisfactory, needs improvement, and unsatisfactory. And I'll let Ms. Knock finish up here.
Okay, so we want you to know, parents, that you have access to your students' grades. You may already know this if you have older students. And I discovered one of the easiest ways, if you don't already have your Parent View account set up, is to simply Google Parent View PUSD, and it'll take you right to our system. You would also need to set up your login. And if you need assistance with that, because you are assigned a login through Synergy, you can contact one of the counselors. It's a good idea to sit down maybe once a week or so, have a specific time that you sit down with your student and, have them show you their grades using their student view, but know that you have access through Parent View. Another thing that is in the process of changing, you hear the word report card and you think of a paper document, right? So we have been transitioning in this technological world that we live in. The progress notice was simply digital this year. The report card, we're still kind of in progress there, trying to, look at that and determine which way we want to go. But you do have some easy access here. It's a great way to, sit down and review grades with your student.
Thank you very much, Ms. Knock. And just to kind of go back on what Ms. Knock said, definitely find the time to sit down with your student and go through their grades. I always suggest to parents on a Wednesday. It's right in the middle of the week. So if your student is missing anything, still gives them some time before the weekend to get caught up. And it allows you the opportunity to reach out to the student's teacher to see if there's anything that they can do. One of the big things that we also push is having students communicate with their teachers. And that can be done through Canvas, which is our online platform, or through speaking in person and talking to the teacher. Definitely want to push that.
Okay, so we also have some great opportunities throughout the school year for you parents to come and join us. One of those is our parent workshops, and you will quickly learn that we love talking about the adolescent brain. If any of those 4 descriptors sound familiar to you: disorganized, emotions on high, pushing back on parents, capable but not doing the work, well, what we know and what we have learned about the adolescent brain, the changes that are happening are amazing. Nature has done a great job in our brain development. However, it sometimes causes a lot of disorganization in our world. So this is what's going on with your student, especially starting in 6th grade. This is a wonderful time to begin to understand that more, maybe just a little bit more, and then also take advantage of this amazing opportunity in these 3 years. So really, we want to help your student thrive in these middle school years and into high school. We sometimes think of, just making it through the teen years. No, it's absolutely an amazing time. So come join us for one of our parent workshop nights, and hopefully you'll learn something new.
Awesome. And, I have to say, I love that our partners bring us all in, that we love the brain. Miss Knock is definitely the brain queen. So I will say that. Another opportunity to connect, we'd like to invite families, parents, and the kiddos. We do some family workshops. So we call this Brainchild Family Information Game Night. And the reason for that is we thought, you know what, we want our families to feel connected. We want our families to know what's going on. And I know we have some great stuff out there. We have the s'more that Principal Brownlee sends out. But another way to do that in person, or well, right now online, is to join us at our Fig Night. So we spend time together. When we were in person, we did board games, we did all kinds of fun stuff in person. And then we decided based on, well, actually, we all decided based on what parents wanted, we would talk about topics towards the end of the night. So we have some fun, we connect, you connect with your kiddos, you connect with your school as well. And then we talk about stuff to help you navigate those middle school years. Some topics that we've done in the past, we did vaping one time. We did a small brain night one time because the parent workshop is where you want to get that stuff. But it's just lots of fun. The last ones this year, we did do online because that's what we're doing, but we're hoping as the year keeps going that we'll be meeting in person. So we hope that you join us. FIG information and understanding the teenage brain information is also on our website, and we will continue to update that.
Thank you, Ms. Garza.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Were you finished?
Yeah, we're just going to move on to the next slide.
Yeah, awesome. No, I was just going to say thank you. And parents, this is a great opportunity to, again, stay connected with what your student is doing. We have seen students be successful through the support of their parents. When their parents are involved in the education, when parents are understanding what their student is experiencing day to day, the students tend to be more successful because the parents are more invested. So definitely get involved.
So we wanted to give you this information up front. For some of you that are at elementary and possibly are using ESS, when you come to middle school, we have ACEs, which is very similar. It's a free before school or after school. You just need to sign up. This link here will take you somewhere, Mr. Dan. There it is. So this is the interest form. You'll fill this out so that you can apply. It's all online now, so there's no hard copy papers. So you fill this out, submit the interest form, and then our people here, ACEs, Mr. Terry too, will get a hold of you. And that's also his information there. So definitely complete that form if you're planning that you do need some after school care. Definitely take advantage of that. They have homework rooms. They do lots of cool stuff. One time in the NPR, they had like video games set up. They have a little Pac-Man stuff. So it's fun, safe, and they're here until you're ready to come get them.
And I have to say, gotta just plug this little thing. ACES also works really closely with Ms. Garza in the counseling department to do different academic challenges throughout the school year. And we really partner with them, and it's a way for us to connect with students once they're outside of the classroom and kind of encourage them to really focus on their studies. So if you feel that your student might need that extra little support, this is a great opportunity for them, and it gets them involved and keeps them, out of trouble.
And registration process. So we're going to give you a few dates on the next slide, but keep in mind as we, and I say we because all of us are in this boat, as we are planning our summer vacations, keep in mind that our events are going to be coming up in August. So, and then registration, everything's going to be online, and it's going to open up March 1st, as you can see there, through the 31st. So the week of August 8th is when you will actually come to campus. The students will pick up their textbooks, they'll take their picture, get their Chromebooks, everything that they need. So that'll be happening the week of August 8th. So please keep that in mind on your calendar and save the dates. And yeah, just keep on monitoring our website, contact us, and we'll keep you going through that process.
And you go ahead, Ms. Garza.
No, you're good. We're just going to say there it is. That's what it looks like on our website.
Just so everyone can have a good look at it and you know what you're looking for.
Okay, a few more important dates that you want to keep in mind, and probably one of the biggest things that I think our fifth graders, soon to be sixth graders, are looking forward to is course request forms where they have the opportunity to choose their electives. This year, we are going to we're working through Synergy, and Ms. Pence Lopez will actually show us some forms in a few minutes here. The window opens today, since we are going to be working through Synergy, and we're giving students and families time to be able to sit down and talk with one another. The window doesn't close until March 11th. We have gone to a lot of, we really want you to be able to understand the process. So we have put together some resources and tools that we believe will help you. Another really fun and important event for our incoming 6th grade students is 6th grade orientation. This year, it'll be August 12th. Again, look at those summer calendars. I know school doesn't start till August 17th, but 6th grade orientation is on the 12th. It's led by our Mustang leaders. They do a fantastic job with school tours, talking circles, some games, and really just want to give your student an opportunity to be on our campus, get to know some new students, as well as our Mustang leaders, who they will see also on the first day of school. So just some dates, mark those calendars.
Thank you, Ms. Knock. And just to kind of reiterate what she said, that orientation is for students and it is led by students. We do get a couple of parents who tend to stick around a little bit, just make sure their student is getting well adjusted. But really, it's for the students to get comfortable, meet some people. If you think about it, we've got 5 elementary schools coming together. So we really want them to kind of have the opportunity to get to know each other before the first day of school.
You know what, Mr.
Oh, yes,
James?
yes.
That reminds me, I want to add something. Just coming up soon, that first week of March or so, we have the counselors here have scheduled with our 5 feeder schools we invite our 5th graders to come on campus. This year, we're going to do it virtual, but it's led, so we'll be meeting with your 5th grade students during that first week in March, virtually. Our Mustang leaders talk about some really important topics, PE, lunchtime, things that are definitely of interest to them. And then the Mustang leaders will do a question and answer time with your 5th grade student. So that's going to be one of their first introductions to Meadowbrook. And with that, we send ahead of time a virtual video of Meadowbrook, which is also, we have our Mustang leaders helping us put that together for your students. So check that out with the 5th grade teacher, so that you're aware of when your school's date is scheduled.
And then we'll be doing coffee with the principal. It might be tea with the principal. It might not be the morning. For an informal get-together for our incoming parents, our incoming 5th grade parents, just for them to be able to ask questions. So there'll be more Zoom information coming out very shortly. Thank you so much, Ms. Knock.
Thank you. That's been a lot of information, guys. We're not quite finished yet. There's a little bit more to go. We're going to just take a quick breather. We're very big on front loading you. We want to give you all of the information we possibly can so that our families are well informed, so you know what to expect, and just so that you just feel super prepared. So front loading, we love it, but we're going to keep moving. We're almost there. So here we're going to talk about our CRF, and I'm going to have Ms. Pence Lopez take over right here. Oh, I think you're muted, Ms. Pence Lopez.
Of course, I cannot get through one of these without talking while muted. I hope you're all still with us. Okay, hang in there. You've done an awesome job persevering. We're almost at the finish line. I do want to review a few things. Just mostly what we are doing is showing you where to find the resources you as a family will need to eventually help your Mustang select their elective for next year. This is so exciting, right? Your student gets to choose what they would like to study. They get to rank their electives. So, Mr. Daniel, if you don't mind, can you please go ahead and click on the school website so that you can see exactly where all the resources are. So if you go to the Meadowbrook Middle School home webpage, you will actually see and scroll down you will see right there where it says school year elective course requests. And if you click right there at the very top where it says school year 22-23, it takes you to this page. And this is all the information your student will need to select their courses for next year. So it's easy as 1, 2, 3, right? What we want your student to do is we want your student to take some time to review what is called the CRF, or the course request form. The form is in English or Spanish. And basically, it outlines or lists the courses that they can select. And your student is going to pick 3 and rank them in order of 1, 2, 3. Once your student knows what they would like to select as their first, second, and third choice, they're going to pay special attention to not the name of the course, but the numbers right next to it. And then they are going to go, as we talked about before, they're going to go to Student View and Synergy. Now, thank you for highlighting. That's the course number right there. Now, the best way to go about this is right there where it says, here's some helpful tips. If you click on that link, Mr. Daniel, you can see if you go down to 1, you're going to plan. Do your research, look at the different choices. If you're not sure what those different classes are, you're going to go to the electives webpage that the electives department has put together some videos. Once you rank your top 3 choices, then you're going to actually submit them on Student View. Right there is a link. And then if you go down, so the link to Student View right there is the live link. But if you go down to the next page, we've got this link to both the Student View website, but then we've also provided for you a step-by-step guide as well as a video. Mr. Daniel, do you mind just going to that step-by-step guide? I just want the families to see. It's the second bullet right there. So right there, I know it's hard when you're not driving, right?
No worries.
There you
Here we
go. So families, as you can see, we've provided step-by-step instructions of what to do and how to do it. And what your student is going to do is they're going to go through and complete their course requests. And if you have any questions, there's also a help. There's a help button for Student View. As you can see right there, there's the little help. Yeah, see right at the top there, there's that little help button in Student View. So we hope we've made it pretty kid-friendly, but parents, don't worry. The student is going to do it in their student account, but we want to make sure that you're having conversations with them, and you're probably going to help them at this first time around. By the time they're in 7th and 8th, going into 8th grade, they're going to become pros at this. But like I said, we've provided step-by-step instructions for how to do it. And then if you head on out of this document, Mr. Daniel, I know I'm asking a lot of you, Mr. Daniel.
Nope,
also,
you're good. You tell me where to
video
go.
example as well. There's a link to a video example as well. We are, So we're hoping these resources are helpful to you, as also as some frequently asked questions. But parents, the portal is open for your student to select their electives starting today through March 11th. So again, step 1, plan. Step 2, do some research, figure out what electives your student would like to choose. And then step 3 is using the video and the step-by-step guide, select the courses ranked 1, 2, 3 using their account in Student View. You did it.
Awesome.
Awesome job.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Mr.
Ms.
Daniel.
Pence-Lopez. Let's keep moving forward here. So again, like Ms. Pence-Lopez said, watch those elective videos. There's so much information in those that really help determine what elective your student wants to be in. Because once those electives are selected, we try to keep those kiddos in those electives for the entirety of the school year. There really isn't any switching around of the electives. So please keep that in mind when you're making those commitments. Well, we made it, guys. That is sixth grade in a nutshell. It's a very condensed version of it. There's a lot more that goes involved into sixth grade, but we wanted to give you a brief overview of everything. And now this is the time for you guys to submit those questions that you might have had.
Thank you so much, Daniel. You've been amazing. And, you know, I'm so proud of our counseling department and the social emotional help that we've given to all of our children since you've been here, for all of you. So right now, I did open up, hopefully it's working, I did open up our comments for people to be able to do that, as well as I will put on the bottom of our screen a bit.ly for people to ask questions. So there's two ways for people to ask questions. I have not seen too many yet. So,
and I do have to say, I'm so sorry, Principal Brownlee. For those of you that are not familiar with the bit.ly, you have to type it exactly how you see it on the screen. The capital M, B, M, S, and the capital P and the capital Q. Otherwise, you will not go to the right site. It'll send you, I don't know where. You have
but
to
not
type
the right
it exactly
place,
as you
right?
see it. Yeah, yeah. So please, please, please be very careful how you type it.
Okay, perfect. That makes sense to me. And then I did change it to where people could put in questions on our channel. I haven't seen any yet, so I'm not sure if it's working or not. But maybe what we do is we wait for a small amount of time. I will make sure that we have it posted. And then what we can do is whoever posts in the next, it doesn't have to be tonight, but maybe tomorrow or the next time we can do an FAQ to answer questions. I'm so grateful that we had people here tonight.
Principal Brownlee, can I answer? I have a few questions that were submitted ahead of time. So may I answer those questions? Would you like me to answer those questions? So I did have a parent write, what instruments can you choose for middle school band? And so for incoming sixth graders, they also have the option to choose some new instruments like oboe, bassoon, clarinet, French horn, tuba, and percussion, which they may not have had in their elementary school band.
Okay, what I can say is that both my kids, I got twins that are 10 years old. One of them wants to play the saxophone, and the other one wants to play the trumpet. So I'm not sure about the availability of the different instruments, but what I do know is that we want to get kids excited about music, and that music definitely plays an integral part in the experience of our students, as well as it helps with math. And so I don't have a concrete answer for that. It sounds like a little bit of a question that we're going to need to ask about the availability of the different instruments. But what I am excited about is that we've got kids coming in that want to do music. And we're going to make sure that that happens, and we're going to make sure that they're happy about it. So thank you so much, Ms. Pence Lopez, for that question.
Another family asked, what are the school hours for next year?
So next year, what we have is all middle schools are going to be on the same schedule. It was just confirmed with our POSD board. So beginning on next year, we will have school starting at 8 a.m., and that's in compliance with our new California laws. And so it'll be 8 a.m. for all schools, and then we get a same late start for all middle schools for Poway Unified School District at 9:20 on Wednesdays. So we share the same day at 9:20. If you need to know more about it, you can see it from our school board that just talked about it for Poway Unified School District. Thank you so much. What else do we have?
I have one question that I actually might be able to answer. I have a family who asked about being, they don't have the option to do a course request form. So I do want to just clarify, if a parent is logging on in parent view, they will not be able to see or add a course request. So you can only do it through the student's account, the student's student view, right? And the student has to be registered for Meadowbrook. So they have to be either projected for, belonging to, and registered for us. If you are, if you have put in for a transfer to our school, you may not have been assigned to Meadowbrook yet. Once that happens, then you will be able to select your courses at that time. And don't worry, you'll have the opportunity to do that. The portal is open through March 11th. So you'll be able to register through and select your courses, elect your electives through March 11th.
Ms. Lopez, I want to add to that too. A lot of times our IDTs are approved by the district later on in the school year. And what I like our families to know is that our team, our master schedule team, looks at all the choices that students submit, and even those coming in beyond the portal being closed. And that's how we build our electives. And it's not first come, first serve. It's we build, and then really it isn't until honestly till we come back in August. You know, we do a lot of almost all of this work up and through June, but you know, those final, what we call rolling over into that final mode, doesn't happen until early August. So don't be concerned that that elective is going to be full and your student doesn't have a chance to get in.
One of the themes that I'm seeing in the questions is struggling student, and what do we do? I think it's important to remember that as you transition from elementary to middle school and middle school to high school, the workload and the expectation is going to increase each year. So I would start by saying, how are we organizing ourselves? What is our academic routine at the house? You know, are we doing homework at the same time in the same location? Are we checking the weekly calendar at the house along with the Canvas portal, along with the classroom calendar, so that way we know what's coming up? So if we're doing all those essential things and we still find a kid struggling, what's going to happen? Certainly our teachers are in constant communication with our counseling department, the counseling department's in constant communication with the admin department, and we really do teamwork it out. Our teachers offer support at lunch. I've seen teachers offer support after school. We've even begun discussing creative ways of how we can offer other opportunities for support. The counseling department mentioned tonight the opportunity for groups. They do academic check-ins and groups with our students who are struggling academically. We also have our student support services branch of our school, which is amazing, and they're just knocking it out the park this year. They do a lot of intervention with our kids, not only academically, but also just a smiling face of social emotional support and a hug and a how you doing coming down the hall. So there's a lot here, but I always start with, you know, going in with the positive growth mindset of what am I doing every day to make sure I'm successful? And it really does come down to that academic routine of budgeting time to say, okay, I need to work at this set time every day, at the same location. You know, if I'm doing that Sunday through Thursday, I've earned privileges Friday and Saturday to go have some fun with my friends on the weekend.
Hey, thank you so much, Mr. Hunt. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight and such valuable words. We're very excited about our upcoming year. And I just want to remind everybody, that if you have any questions, you can still put them into the into the form that we have if you have any questions, or feel free to reach out to me or your own principal, and we'll make sure that we make it happen to answer your questions.
Principal Brownlee,
yeah,
I'm so sorry to interrupt. Could we wait a few more minutes for some questions? It was just brought to my attention that the form for questions was restricted to PUSD users only. So I just went ahead and changed that. It was defaulted. I apologize.
no,
But if you go
that's
into that
fine.
bit.ly, yeah, if you go into that bit.ly, you should be able to submit questions now. I'm
Okay.
not sure how that happened, but
Do you have
should be good to go.
questions that we can maybe answer? Softball questions? Do you have a question?
I see a question here, and it does go back to the electives, that a parent was wondering if their students start struggling with the elective, what choice does he have if he's not able to change? I know we talked about that.
Yeah, do you have an answer for that?
You know, we every situation is individual. Since we do build to students' first choice, you know, that's how the classes are configured. And if a student is struggling in an elective, of course, we're going to reach out to the teacher. We're going to have conversation with that student and parent and see what the struggle is, and if we can identify that struggle and remediate, you know, that would be our first course of action. And there can be times where we do change an elective, but it's not our first go-to step. As we know, our middle school students will often change their minds. So we're gonna, you know, kind of keep them in there as much as possible.
Yeah, and the brilliant thing is that at Meadowbrook they have lots of choices to choose from, which is amazing. So maybe if parents can help their child to pick their first, second, and third choice, that would be great as well. And and I'm very grateful that we have that opportunity right now, today, for them. And hopefully we'll have that opportunity again another year from now. Thank you, Ms. Knock, so much.
The presentation will be available, correct, Principal Brownlee, I think you can speak to this. This presentation was recorded and is available for online viewing?
Yeah, the great thing about what we're doing is that it will be on YouTube Live, and then YouTube Live will turn into a YouTube video for my YouTube video. So anyone will be able to watch it, and yes, it's being recorded, and such a great question. Thank you so much.
We've got a question here in regards to all of the information and dates that we provided. Yes, everything is going to be provided in writing. It's all on our website. All you have to do is go to Meadowbrook Middle School, and you'll be able to see all of those important dates and reminders there. We'll also be pushing them out to our feeder elementary schools so that they can be shared through their, whether it's s'mores or whatever medium the principal uses to communicate with the families. So no worries. I know it's a lot of information, but it'll be there. You can check on our website. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to your schools.
You know, I see another question here, and it makes me very curious. It says, when we log into Parent View, we go to the 5th grade school, Creekside. Do we need to re-register, or will a Meadowbrook view be enabled when it's active for my student? So when the student is selecting their elective, you can only go through student view. I think that's an interesting second part to this question about, will Meadowbrook view be enabled? So I would ask that parent to go, when you go through student view, what happens, and are you able to select course request and choose the student's electives?
Hey,
If not, if it's not looking like that on your end, email one of the counselors.
okay,
And
thank you so much, Miss Knock. I'm not entirely sure if it's a individual thing, but if it is, we'll definitely be able to get back to whoever's asking us. It's 7:10. I'm gonna close what we have tonight, and I'm very excited about bringing in our new 5th graders that are going to be 6th graders. Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel, for emceeing and taking care of our kids, and to all of our counselors. And I look very forward to seeing everyone. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.